Have you ever zoomed into a random spot on Google Maps just to explore the world from your screen? Most times, you'll just see buildings, roads, and forests. But once in a while, something shows up that's completely unexplainable. From ghostly figures to islands that don't exist. Today we're looking at 5 shocking things people actually found on Google Maps. Some will creep you out. Some will blow your mind. Let's dive right in. One quiet afternoon in Nancy, France, someone stumbled across something eerie while casually browsing Google Maps. Zooming in on an ordinary apartment building, they noticed a strange, pale figure standing on one of the balconies. It wasn't quite human, at least not fully. The shape looked blurred, almost transparent, as though it was stuck between being there and not. Some thought it was a mannequin or maybe a reflection, but others swore it looked like a ghost, with no clear features and no one else around. It stood still behind the balcony glass, facing out into the street, and before long, people online began calling it the ghost on the balcony. What made it more chilling was that in later versions of the street view, the figure was gone. No sign of it. Nothing unusual remained. Was it edited out? Or had something otherworldly briefly revealed itself to the satellite camera? Thousands of miles away in Arizona, something very different caught people's attention. Less creepy, but no less shocking. Just outside Tucson sits Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and when viewed from above on Google Maps, it looks like a junkyard for giants. This massive stretch of land is home to the world's largest airplane graveyard. We're talking about thousands of decommissioned military aircraft, all lined up in perfect rows across the desert floor. Jets, bombers, cargo planes, some completely intact, others stripped for parts. To someone unfamiliar with it, the sight is confusing and almost unreal. Why are so many planes just sitting there in the middle of nowhere? Turns out, the dry Arizona climate makes it ideal for storing old aircraft, preventing rust and decay. Still, the haunting stillness of the place, once full of roaring engines and missions, gives it an odd, forgotten feel. Like a museum of war that no one visits. But not all strange discoveries are about what is there. Sometimes, it's about what isn't. In the South Pacific, near Australia, there once was an island called Sandy Island, or at least that's what maps said. It even appeared on Google Maps at one point. But when a team of scientists sailed out to find it in 2012, there was nothing there. No sand, no land, just open ocean where an island was supposed to be. This wasn't a small mapping error either. Sandy Island had been appearing on nautical charts for decades. After it was confirmed missing, Google quickly removed it from their maps, and the mystery only deepened. How did it get there in the first place? Was it a mistake passed down through generations of maps? A digital glitch? Or did something once exist there that simply disappeared? To this day, there's no solid answer. Tokyo offered a different kind of shock. If you were exploring the Mitaka district on Street View a few years ago, you might have suddenly found yourself staring at a group of people with pigeon heads. Yes, you read that right. About 8 individuals were standing still in the middle of a quiet street, all wearing large, realistic pigeon masks. Their bodies were dressed normally, but the pigeon heads gave off a bizarre, slightly unsettling vibe. Even stranger, they were perfectly positioned to look right into the Street View car's camera as it passed. It didn't seem random. No one looked surprised. No one was laughing. It was almost too organized to be a prank. Some think it was a piece of performance art. Others say it was a coordinated joke by locals who knew when the camera car would arrive. Whatever the reason, it felt like something out of a strange dream. The image was eventually removed from Google Maps, but screenshots live on, keeping the Pigeon People legend alive. Then there's the most unbelievable case of all, the one where Google Maps helped solve a real-life mystery. In Wellington, Florida, a man had been missing for over 2 decades. Friends and family had no clue what happened to him. Then, in 2019, someone browsing Google Earth spotted something odd in a small pond behind a house, the shape of a car, barely visible under the water. They reported it, and when authorities arrived, they pulled a submerged vehicle from the pond. Inside were human remains. It was the man who had vanished 22 years earlier. He had driven into the water one night, and no one noticed. For all that time, his car had been lying just beneath the surface, hidden in plain sight. Without Google Maps, it might have stayed there forever. Each of these discoveries reminds us that the world still has secrets, some just waiting to be seen from above.